Hi, and welcome to my life in sunny Central Texas. Now, I happen to be sitting in the shade of a building right now. The sun is starting to go down, but it is a nice afternoon, up to almost 60 degrees today. So, sunny Central Texas it is. I am Kismet, the feral grandma, and we've been a little bit busy today. Somebody was replacing the outside louvered bit on the kitchen vent. Your range hood, you turn it on, the fan blows aromas and oily smells and smoke out into the world, where they can oxidize and break down and not be part of your life anymore. I am Kismet, the feral grandma, and to about a dozen people or so, welcome back. And to anyone new, nice to have you. And I'm kind of still on that topic of what is a feral grandma. Well, one thing is, I like to go do stuff. I like to camp. And as my arthritis got worse, somebody bought me a tent. My husband did. I'll refer to him as Loki frequently because that was a handle he used on IRC a long time ago. Some of y'all may recognize the name as I use it more than once. We are from a generation where we were warned repeatedly, don't give out information on the web. So I don't. My name is not Kismet, just I am the person that has been called Kismet online for ever so long. But Loki bought me a tent, and it's great. It doesn't take much more than unfolding, but it's not one of those ultra expensive ultralights that you take if you're gonna carry everything you need up Mount Everest with you. What it does do, though, it has everything sort of integrated. I mean, obviously not the stakes or an underfloor, but it comes out of the bag, and a certain amount of it is going to be the bottom of it, and a certain amount of it's going to be the top, of course. And the framework just unfolds as it is. It opens up like a demented flower. You unfold this part and that part, and then you start setting the legs out the way they're supposed to go and put the rainfly on it. I put the rainfly on it before I extend the legs up to the full height. That's great. That way I don't have to reach or get help to do it. I'm short. I will admit that I'm short. I will also admit that I love my tent. It is a really good tent. It's very new. I will typically beat the crap out of them from use. The last two got thoroughly beaten up going to Ren Fair multiple years. And to any of the Claw clan, hello. Yes, it's me. That little troublemaker that cooks. Now, inside my tent, I will put a low temperature sleeping bag. It's good all the way down to 0. But this is Texas, y'all. I don't need it that way very often. So, something we do, and this is awesome if you don't know when or where you'll camp or what the conditions will be. It's like, we can go out in the summertime. We'll take a bed sheet, just a regular flat top sheet, and we'll just use the sleeping bags as a mattress. Not quite so sweaty that way. You can get battery-powered fans, just like you can get battery-powered lights. And that makes things a lot better. Something else I have done in recent years is to get what's called a state parks pass. This gives you a special rate on tent sites, cabins if they're available, the screen shelters that are not exactly a cabin, but they have a roof in case it's raining. And you can put everything inside, set up cots, and then just, if there's any rain blowing in, you can pull a tarp over yourself, whatever works. That's pretty good too, especially if you have a whole lot of people. And some parks have limits. If you get a tent site, you can have 2 or 3 tents, but you can have other people inside the screen shelter. Or you can just do meals in there and not be getting mosquitoes and the flies, whatever, And other states will have something similar. Now, my dad is one of the oldest young men I know, and he has looked into what's available where he's at. And being both a veteran and one of our older citizens, he can do all the parks, all the fishing, all the hunting, anything he wants to do pretty much for pocket change. Seriously, if not for free. And that is worth looking at. There are people with disabilities that can get a special rate on going here or there or doing something. And basically, the rate will include somebody who's there to keep an eye on them and help them if they need it. Not everybody needs it. My arthritis is better than it has been, but I've got this horribly stiff pain in my back recently. I don't know what that's about, but I don't expect it to last forever. But one thing I did want to say was don't be afraid to go do things. I'm a fall risk. I really am, especially since the TIA. I have fallen twice and taken skin off my knees, bled inside my pants, things like that. But I refuse to live in fear. There are better things to do with your life than be afraid. In fact, the Bible has it. Do not fear. Like 365 times or something. That's one for every day. And it's a leap year this year, so if you want to pick a day to be afraid of something, be afraid of your birthday cake. That's too much sugar. That's unhealthy. Oh, good night. That is so unhealthy. I don't know if I'm going to have some birthday cake this year or not. I might check if birthday cake flavored keto chow is available, but I don't need all the artificial flavors. And the artificial sweeteners just aren't doing it for me. Something else I wanted to say today was to make your own decisions. Whether it's about what you eat, or I don't think I need to be on this prescription. I know a doctor who's not very happy with me. I won't take statins. They do too much. Your body needs every bit of cholesterol it produces. Yes, I said produces. Your cholesterol does not translate directly from your food to what's going on in your body. There's involvement, but the fact is, your brain has so much need for cholesterol. And every cell, every muscle cell, every heart cell, every skin cell, they have a lipid shield. And that's made out of cholesterol. Every cell in your body uses cholesterol and salt. What do we know about those? People have been telling us not to go crazy on cholesterol and salt for the last 100 years. Seriously. Now, one of the great things about our kidneys is that your kidneys do a lot to regulate your salt and keep it at exactly the right level. If you're sweating it out and you then get a craving to drink whatever Gatorade and such like that you wish to replace your electrolytes, well, your electrolytes include salt. That's why some of those drinks taste so salty to people. I just get the Keto Chow brand electrolyte drops and put those in plain water. Well, filtered water. We have an RO system on the kitchen sink. I love it. I wish I had a household RO system. And sometimes, the daily minerals, a lot of them are in that. It just depends what I'm doing. If I'm going to go work out, it's going to be my electrolytes. But I make my own decisions about that. But sometimes we have to decide for ourselves what makes us feel better. If you feel good, it's because something's going right inside your body. It does not mean you're young. I have a lot of days when my left knee doesn't hurt at all. It used to be both knees all the time. Skateboards and basketball, that'll get you, even if you're short. Of course, that was so long ago that I wasn't exactly short. If you're 11 years old and you top 5 feet, you don't mind playing basketball against somebody who's... Okay, I think the center on our team was probably 6 inches taller than me. And I know our forwards were kind of short. They were 4-something each. We played. We enjoyed it. It was awesome. But that stuff comes back and bite you. But you do what makes you feel better. And if that means you're getting a cane and you're hobbling down to the corner and checking your mail yourself, instead of having whichever family member occasionally comes by to check on you, check it. That's cool. If you want to use a walker and go all the way around the block, it might be a good idea to have somebody halfway around the block that you can sit down on their front step for a while if you need to. I mean, getting started can be hard, but you do need to be doing something, and you need to do what makes you feel good. And getting as close as you can to natural movement. Even if I hurt my ankle, I will walk as close to normally as I can. I will be standing up straight. I have a cane. Oh, there it is. I do have a cane. I said I did. Anyway, that's my cane. I don't use it for much, but in the grocery store, getting something down from the top shelf, I'll snag a box or whatever, and I'll be standing where I can catch it. That's sometimes 2 boxes will fall, and I'll be picking something up and putting it as close to where it belongs as I can. But the cane is good for that. And on a sneaky level, it's also a bit of a self-defense weapon. I have not ever yet used it for that. Thank goodness. I don't want to lose it to a evidence locker or something. But yes, move. Move your body because that lubricates your joints. There are so many things you can do that can make your knees and your elbows. I mean, my right elbow, my right wrist, lately they've been a bit of a pain. Probably because I'm not going to Tai Chi until COVID is gone from my house. The daughter has, what are they? Me and my husband have an obesity problem. That's one of those cofactors that make it less survivable. Well, it didn't make it less survivable when we had it before. But I've got my daughter she's a grown woman and she's not obese, thank goodness. But COPD from constant bronchitis and asthma and allergies. And her youngest, asthma and allergies. So we have to be somewhat concerned with them. So sometimes that means groceries get delivered if anyone's running a fever. And we have to do other things. Like we don't hang around taking our time. We needed a few screws for a simple repair at the house. And that was not an all-afternoon run to the big box home improvement store. We went, we got stuff, and then we went and got some lunch. Lunch is good. And I want to shout out Mikey V's on the square in Georgetown. It's a taco shop. They used to just make some making and some reselling of various hot sauces, small name brands, whatever that. Infused salts. I have one at the house I love. We're not eating a lot of that lately. That's okay. I feel better not eating that stuff. Now, I also wanted to mention supplements. I don't take a lot of supplements. I take NAC, which is N-acetylcysteine, which is a protein that you might not make enough of it. I mean, I probably don't make enough of it. I get this bit happening. Thank goodness I don't look like that elsewhere on my body. But Dr. Berry says it aids in body recomposition, so I'm using it. I'll need another bottle pretty soon, really. And I keep aspirin around because having had one stroke, I know that good flow is important, and aspirin is a thinner. But I don't use it every day because there's a bleeding risk. If somebody gets into a traffic accident or needs a surgery, it's very important your crew that's working on you knows that you're on aspirin every day. Seriously. Now, I also take something a lot of people haven't heard very much about. Cerule products. Cerule. I heard about them from Semiretired Bob. Awesome, down-to-earth guy, former Army. He had started suggesting Cerule Stem Enhance Ultra and Plasma Flow, and I think he's on one of the like Cyactive joint or whatever, and he's moving a lot better, but there's more to it than that. They're not allowed to make certain claims, but I would say go out to the website, read the science, and decide for yourself. He heard about them from Bart K himself. Now, in the same way that I describe Semi-Retired Bob as down-to-earth, Bart K is a bit on the flamboyant side. He's a riot. He's very well educated. Nutrition and physiology, great things to know. And he's almost my age, and he doesn't look it. He looks amazing. But there was a time in his life when somebody told him he had about 5 years left to enjoy his vision, and then it would be gone. He decided to find an alternative, and he did, and he's not blind. When I had a symptom come up that I told my optometrist about, Excuse me, I'm dropping my phone. Actually, I don't know if Dr. Snowberger is an optometrist or an ophthalmologist or something, but he's my eye doctor. And I told him what I was getting. And he mentioned macular degeneration. Now, I know what the macula is, and I know what degeneration means. So I started looking into options. And I wound up taking the Cerule Stem Enhance Ultra. That's the current name. I guess it is Cerule's flagship product. But as much as I was having my vision prescription reduce on just the carnivore diet, the difference with other things I'm doing is unbelievable. That symptom that got my doctor telling me about macular degeneration, that symptom is gone. And my left knee no longer pops and hurts. My right knee still pops, and that's kind of painful sometimes. But some things, whatever you've damaged the most is going to take the longest to heal. But I told Master State about it. He was saying how his mom was in Mexico with her current husband, pursuing alternative therapies for her cancer. She did not want to just do chemo and hope it didn't kill her. A lot of people don't. But Master State is a beat up. I shouldn't say beat up. He could beat me up real easy. But he's a slightly used up Marine. Love him to pieces. I told him what this stuff was doing for me. And, according to law, the FDA is real tight about this. Cerule cannot make claims. And that is important to know. They don't get to say, oh, it will do this or it will do that. What it will do, though, is enhance your production of your own basic stem cells and make it easier to kick them out into your system so that they will float around doing what stem cells do. And Bart K understands the science probably better than I ever will. Go look at his videos. Be careful which ones you look at if you're picky about how people use their words. Or if you don't like to hear anyone picking on vegans. Because he will. Bob is Army, so of course he's probably not offended. He's a nice guy. And Bart K, I also find to be a nice guy. He's got videos that are shirt and tie and proper behavior. That's cool. He's also got videos where he's just lambasting people who are wrong on the interwebs, especially if they don't stay in their lane. That he understands the body and nutrition better than many people ever will. And if you are trained to be a psychiatrist and have never even practiced, I mean, you get all your qualification done and then you go off to be a YouTube star. Well, boy, for you. I don't want to hear from you about nutrition unless you actually know something. Judy Cho knows nutrition. I mean, if Bart and Judy Cho got together for a video or a conference or something, and oh, here's all this stuff, I mean, what one doesn't know, the other one probably does. They're that smart. I also like Dr. Baker, Dr. Berry, Professor Noakes. There are so many people who know what they're doing and they can speak on their topic and it makes sense. But let me take a look at my little... I tried to get my ducks in a row. I found out I didn't have ducks. I had chickens at a rave. But, yep. That was all the important stuff. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you feel good. If you feel good, you last longer. And when you last longer, you get to be an out-and-out headache to your grandkids when they grow up. And hopefully your great-grandkids will be laughing at your antics. So I'm in the parking lot at a very small store that's out in the county near Jonah, Texas, but I think at this point it's officially Georgetown. I'm officially in Georgetown, but that's kind of a joke. It's such a drive to get to Georgetown, it's crazy. But I think the sun is continuing to droop a little bit. I gotta make a plan for dinner. Somebody has to make some dinner. Alright, take care of yourselves. I love you. I want you to be okay. And if you happen to need some vitamin C, or if what makes you feel good is to have a tortilla sometimes with your breakfast, don't feel bad. I mean, other than the fact that it may not settle in your stomach very well. I spent most of my life feeling like I had just swallowed a brick after meals. I mean, I might as well have. Because all that stuff that we eat was not good for me. Now I'm doing what's good for me. Being down 80 pounds is good for me. I feel so much better. I want other people to feel better. All right, take care. Bye-bye.